Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about my goals for 2021 and my rules surrounding my no buy / low buy for the year as it pertains to makeup, beauty, and skincare. If you're interested in hearing what I've got up my sleeve, then just keep watching. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on my video. Today we're going to talk about some necessary changes that have to happen in 2021 for me. Before we get started, if you're new, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit notifications to all so you don't miss any of my future uploads and live streams. I like all things luxury beauty. I'm starting to get into some indie makeup when it comes to eyeshadows. So if you're interested in just talking about makeup, hanging out, learning about new brands, new creators, then definitely consider subscribing. Also, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That's where all the fun's at, guys. That's where we talk about makeup, tag each other on giveaways, tag each other on new makeup launches, and just talk about makeup. So I hope to see you there. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I've been really nervous to post this video, to even film this video, because you know, sometimes, I'm not gonna say always, but sometimes I kind of have an issue with accountability, and that's exactly what this video is all about. Did I have lipstick on my teeth? Oh God. Anyway, at the beginning of the year, I knew that I had to make some changes. You know, I had worked on some live streams where I talked about my makeup collection, and I had shown you all of my bronzers and highlighters. I don't think I've gotten to blush or like the rest of my makeup yet, but I did eyeshadow palettes, and oh my goodness, my mind was blown, you guys. I started my channel at the end of May, and from that point to December 31st, I had acquired 92 eyeshadow palettes. And, you know, many could say or excuse it as, well, you have a channel now, like you have to talk about the new and all of that. And yes, that's true. I mean, technically speaking, the way that a new channel grows is by showcasing the new. And so that's sort of what I was doing. A little bit of that was FOMO, a little bit of that was just trying to keep up with everybody else. And what I started to realize was that like, I don't really get joy from having so much new. I was talking about this on one of my videos, and Morgan Turner was actually in the live chat, and she was like, you know, it just depends. Like if that's your thing, that's your thing. Like she really does love talking about all the new makeup releases, and that's kind of her passion. For me, it's mostly about just building community, talking about makeup, you know, playing with makeup, but not necessarily all the new. So what was happening is I would walk into my beauty room and I would just get sad, you guys. Like I had so much, and it was exciting to get the boxes in the mail, but sometimes I would try a product that I absolutely loved, and then it would be months, if at all, where I would go back and use it again. And so it's like, I really love this. Like I want to play with it more, but I can't because I'm focusing on filming the new content. And so that's where I started to kind of realize like the new or the review channel is not for me. Am I still going to do reviews on new products? Yes, I am, and I'll explain how. So that's kind of... I was interrupted. I got a phone call. I don't even know where I left off. Anyway, so that's when I started to think like, you know what, this whole review-based channel thing is just not for me. If it is for you, that's great. We all need those channels. It's just not for me. So I started thinking like, how can I start to pivot my channel in a way that makes more sense for me and where it's more enjoyable, because that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for fun. I do hope to grow and to turn this into something, a business or something like that in the future. But for now, I want to have fun doing it, you know? So I thought we went over to our Friday live streams of our Makeup and Chill series, where we put a spotlight on different creators as well as brands. And so that's been a lot of fun. I do want to do at least 1 or 2 new reviews a month. And then I also want to do like tag videos talking about recommendations for skincare, for makeup. Like those are the things that I love to see. I also want to revisit a lot of the palettes that I purchased last year, because I've heard this comment from quite a few subscribers where it's like, okay, Yadi, like you really liked, as an example, like the Pat McGrath, you know, Mega Celestial Divinity palette. Like, can we see more looks with that? Or can we do get readies with me? My makeup in history that people seem to really love has kind of taken a back seat. And so there's all of these other things, content that is related to makeup and skincare that I could be working on that is more enjoyable for me. And so that's what you've kind of seen pivot on my channel. So I want to just quickly take you through the rules and then tell me what you guys think. Like, is there any way that we can kind of change the rules up a little bit that make more sense? Or if you don't understand something, let me know and we can kind of go through that. But there's a couple rules that go along with my low buy / no buy. Rule number 1 is my no buy will pertain to luxury beauty. Yes, you heard that right. My no buy will pertain to luxury beauty. This is why I was so nervous to do this. And the reason for that is because I just feel like I like luxury beauty when it comes to everything except the eyes. Like for the eyes, I just wasn't finding like the true pigment or like colorful color stories that I wanted to see and colors I wanted to play with. And so when it comes to like complexion, powders, blushes, highlights, like all of that I tend to purchase more on the luxury side, that's gonna go on a straight no buy. And I will be sharing my makeup inventory, and when you guys see how many of each item I have, you'll understand why my luxury side of things has to go on a strict no buy. Now, there are some caveats to that because I don't know, because I make up the rules and I kind of talked through this with Ash and Kara from Beauty and the Frizz, and I just said, I need to make this sustainable. I need to make it so that like it's not like a crash diet type of situation where like you go without for so long that you just end up blowing it big time. Like I want to make it sustainable and still like kind of work for me. And the caveat to the luxury side, which I consider high-end to luxury, is Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath. I am going to include those as indie brands. And so when you really think about like what an indie brand really is, it's, you know, a brand that's kind of, that is not owned by those big umbrellas like Estee Lauder and such. So I consider Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath indie brands. They are higher up there, but you know, so is Cleona, as we found, you know. So those are the two caveats to the luxury beauty no buy. Now, I don't think I said this, but another reason why I wanted to go on this kind of a low buy, no buy situation is because I have very strict financial goals for myself in 2021. For my family and I. Like there's a lot of investments that we are into this year. We're also building our home here in Dallas, and so we're really excited about that. But the major spending on makeup has to take a back seat. Like I was spending so much money, you guys, and like, you know, I'm 40, well, kinda. I'm gonna be 40 next month, and like, for me, it just doesn't make financial sense to be, I mean, some people see it as investing and that's what makes sense for them. For me, I saw it as wasting money on makeup because I have other things to plan for, long-term financial goals, and just for me, it just didn't make sense. I still want to talk about beauty. I still want to use new makeup, but it just didn't make sense to continue at the volume at which I was going because it was astronomical, at least in my eyes. Like for instance, it was very normal for me to spend, you know, from like $1,000 to $3,000 or $4,000 on makeup a month. Like it gets out of hand very quickly. And you know, sometimes it's stuff that I bought, I used once for a video and then haven't touched again. Like that just makes no sense for me. And so that's another reason why. So I just wanted to quickly take that time out to explain the other reason for my low buy / no buy. Okay, now on the indie side / drugstore, I'm going on a low buy. And so the rules pertaining to that part of my goals for 2021 is that I am allowed to purchase one new release a month. Now, for the new release, you know, it could be indie, it could be drugstore. Let's just be honest, it's probably not going to be a whole lot of drugstore. It's going to be more indie. That's kind of what I'm into right now. But it will be one new release a month, and my budget for the month is $100 for makeup. And I think from what I've seen, you know, aside from Cleona, from what I've seen, like that's a pretty reasonable budget for the month. I can tell you that in the month of February, I haven't really purchased anything. And so I've been looking at all the releases. I'm being very choosy. Like, you know, Kara has said this a couple times, and I think that makes perfect sense for me. It's like, I want something different. Like I want something that I don't already have to add to my collection. It has to be a standout. And so, for instance, in January, I did purchase some Kaleidos highlighters, but it actually ended up being a really sweet gift for my sister Eileen for my birthday, like an early gift. But I purchased the Prophecy highlighter. That's a duochrome highlighter. I don't have anything like that in my collection, and so that's a great thing to add. In the month of February, I can give you just a preview. I feel like I'm gonna go ahead and go with either Odin's Eye or Adept Cosmetics. That palette looks bomb. I'm so sad that I missed out on Plain Jane palette. I do think that's on pre-order until May or so. So I may pick up the new Adept Cosmetics palette and the Plain Jane palette as my one purchase for the month. And I don't know the pricing, but I don't think I'll go over the $100. So we'll see. But so that's the rules. Like absolutely no luxury beauty. One new release a month, maximum $100 budgeted towards that new release. And then also, I think this will give me a really great opportunity to really figure out what I like, to really focus on formulas instead of just first impressions for all of you, to really get creative with the color stories. I feel that if I only am adding one new palette a month, it will help me use it more, look at it more creatively, critique it more. I mean, for instance, like my last purchase was the Nomad Cosmetics Land of Fire and Ice palette, the Iceland palette. I used that palette like 2 weeks straight. I could not stop using it. It was so beautiful. I came up with so many different looks, and I think it also pushed me to be a little more creative with the colors that I used together, and I loved it. It was so much fun. In the month of February, I haven't made a purchase yet, but I did get the Shanghai palette from Nomad Cosmetics that I won in a giveaway, and I've been playing with this. My video will go up, and so it just kind of happened that it was a new release that I get to show you guys in February, but like that's kind of what I want to do. Like I want to go more in depth with the releases. I want to truly use them, like give good, accurate descriptions, reviews, as well as comparisons to other things in my collection, and then just kind of have fun playing with makeup. So although there's not technically like a lot of rules, I mean, there's 3 rules, right? Like no luxury beauty, one new release a month, cannot go over $100 every month. Oh, we can roll over. So for instance, if I spend $60 in February, I can roll over the additional $40 into the month of March. And yeah, we can roll it over. I don't know how much I'll roll over, because reality is that I want to make sure that I don't get to the point where, you know, I save up all my pennies for June and then I go on a major spree. Like that's the whole point, is I don't want a lot of new coming in all at once. So we can roll over a little bit, but not get too crazy about it. I will tell you that like in March or April, I'm probably gonna go over budget by a little bit. So I'm gonna have rollover money to go towards that, because Temptalia and Sydney Grace are coming out. From what I can tell, if it's 3 palettes, I feel like I probably will surpass the $100 budget. So I'm gonna kind of be thoughtful about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I am putting it out there. I'm going to stay steady and firm. So far, I've been doing this for about a month and I feel really good. I just feel like, you know what, this is good. Like this is sustainable. It's helping me to realize that I just have so much, and I can enjoy something new or shop my stash every single day and still have a ton of fun. So, you know, with everything that happened in 2020, like I'm giving myself a little bit of grace. I just feel like, okay, I was starting a channel. I was trying to figure out what content to put out. We were locked up, you know, bored in the house, and we were in the house bored, right? Like we had nothing to do. It seemed like 2020 was on sale, in Dr. Ash's words. And so there is just a lot going on. And I think 2021 is sort of showing us that like, this is not going to end anytime soon. And by anytime soon, I'm hoping it will, you know, get a little bit better towards the end of the year when vaccines are more massively distributed and all of that. But for now, we're still stuck in the house, and now we have to really take accountability for our actions, make sure that we're not just kind of excusing everything as like, well, I mean, it's a pandemic, it's a pandemic. Like, no, at some point we have to wake up and say like, nope, I cannot continue this behavior, and I have to now be a little bit more responsible with my purchases, and then just do better, but then still enjoy makeup, still do all the pretty things with our eye colors and everything else. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like, are you guys doing like a low buy or no buy because of everything we purchased in 2020, or are you just continuing on as you have? Like, I'd love to know. For the most part, like if you love new, I have a couple channels that I want to recommend to you, and I will list those in the description box below because I just think they're great. So like when it comes to luxury beauty, I can think of 3 channels. Yeah, I can think of 3 channels that really do focus on the new, and that would be All Feisty. That's Jen at All Feisty. She's just a great person to go to for that because she has a lot of experience with luxury beauty. Then I have Hey It's Jacqueline. She does a lot of new. And then the third one that is kind of like my makeup twin. I just love her so much. She's so beautiful, and it's Gigi's Beauty. She's from Canada. She is just gorgeous and just such a sweetheart. Those are the 3 channels that you can go to for all the new on the luxury side because I want to give you guys those resources. On the indie side, like for eyeshadows right now, there's just so many, but obviously the ones that I know are gonna constantly be bringing you most of the new will be Beauty in the Frizz. I also think that Colorful Camille is really good about bringing you most of the new in the indie space. Amy Loves Makeup is great. And so yeah, those are the recommendations I can give you. Again, like I can't be everything to everyone, but I do want to stay here in this beauty space, build a community, talk about makeup, not always be the one that has the new, but always be the one that can have fun with you and get ready with you and do our makeup together and all of that. So that's what I've got for you guys today. I am now fully accountable. It's out there. You guys make sure and hold me accountable to that as well. Definitely follow me on Instagram and Twitter where you see most of the madness and all the cute, like, all the look inspos and everything else when I use different palettes every day. And then subscribe to my channel. Make sure that you ring the notification bell to all so that you're notified of my future uploads. I am going to skip on the Makeup and Chill for this Friday the 19th because I've got a work commitment that I just have to be a part of. But I will be back on the 26th, which is a Friday, with a favorite brand so far. Just loving everything I'm seeing from the brand. I'm actually wearing it on my eyes today. Yes, girl, Alien Cosmetics is who you can see on my next Makeup and Chill brand spotlight, creator spotlight. So I will see you guys then. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye!